Hi everyone. So today I'm doing something a little different. I'm actually heading into Pond in the River on the Rapid River, but I'm not actually going to be fishing for the trout today. This is something I've always kind of wanted to do, is go during the spawn and actually fish Pond in the River specifically just to catch spawning bass, because bass here are invasive. They're essentially invasive everywhere east of the Hudson River, but it's actually kind of problematic here, and in the 90s they kind of started showing up, and it caused a collapse in the brook trout population for a little while, and they've kind of got everything, you know, balanced out a little bit, but still they really want you to take the bass out of the Rapid River system to help, you know, protect the brook trout and stuff like that. So today I'm going to go fish for the spawning bass, and you know, it's probably going to be unpopular, but I am going to keep them, because you know, over here at the Rapid River most people just catch the bass and they throw them on the bank, and I think that's kind of wasteful. So I think by going and pulling them off of the beds, that's actually a really good thing. So I'm gonna do that today. I generally don't eat a lot of game fish. I do eat fish, but generally speaking, my rule of thumb is I only keep like stock trout. I won't ever kill wild trout. But some places they kind of want you to take certain species out. Like even here at the Rapid River, they want you to take the salmon out because the salmon were introduced in the 20s, and they're not really native to the area. And then they put the smelt in, and that caused the bluebacks to go away, and it was just kind of a disaster. And at the Rapid River, you know, statewide in Maine for landlocked salmon, the regulation is you can keep 2 at 14 inches, but at the Rapid they actually have it at 3 and 12 inches, which basically is saying they really kind of want you to get rid of the salmon. But generally speaking, I let them go here too, even though they kind of want me to. But I'm not a pure catch and release angler, but I release striped bass, I release most trout and bass in general. So this is kind of out of character for me for keeping the bass, but I mean, they do taste all right. I've eaten quite a few of them. It was kind of common back when I was guiding Grand Lake Stream to, hold on a second, I had a car driving by me, to keep a few bass and fry them up for lunch, and they're not that bad. So I'll keep a few of them, and I'll keep all of them that I catch, because that's what they really want you to do. I don't know how it's going to go, because I've always kind of wanted to do this. And back in the day, my father and I would come here, and we did the thing that everybody does, and we'd throw our bass on the bank. We never really filleted them out or anything. And I always kind of thought that was bad, so we actually would do it kind of as a ritual. We'd go to this one little spot, this one corner that always had a lot of little bass in it. And hold on, I'm coming up to a crossing. And we just throw them on the bank. And that's kind of when I hatched the idea of going out into the pond and the river. You know, that's got some really good spawning habitat for smallmouth, and doing this. And I think my father would have liked to have done this too, but he's no longer with us. So I'm just kind of getting out here with my canoe, and I'm gonna go paddle around and see if I can catch some bass. I think I should catch some, but who knows? I haven't really explored Pond in the River very much. I would usually just take my canoe and paddle down the lower dam. If I went out on the pond at all, I'd just paddle down there. But we'll go explore, see if we can find some nice sandy, rocky beach, and that'll be good. Alright, I'm in about the right area. It's been a long time since I've been here, so let's see if I can find the Billy Goat Trail. Ooh, there's people there. so it shouldn't be that bad. Alright, I got my first little cove with some lee, and let's see what we got. Maybe I can catch something. Generally speaking, in Maine, the bass start spawning in late May, early June, and I think it's the 10th or the 12th, so it might be a little post-spawn, but it's all dependent on water temperature and stuff like that. And I find smallmouth fishing is best when it's bright and sunny out. You'll find the smaller bass in the more shallow water and the bigger bass in the deeper water. It kind of separates that way. So when you're pulling these fish off of beds, you're generally getting males because the males guard the nest. Oh, got one. Ah! So the males guard the nest. I lost him. It was pretty quick. But they still... Oh! Got another one. They're very aggressive by the nests. Because the males are... Ooh, that bass just took right off. The males are the ones who have to guard and the females take off. So that does make a difference with what we're doing here. It's not like I'm pulling fish full of eggs off the nest like would be ideal, but by pulling the defenders off the nest, you open that nest and those eggs up to predation. Which is realistically what I'm hoping for here. One of those bass was pretty good. It's probably about a 12-incher. So I got my first little bass. Now I gotta kill him. He dead. I'll fillet him up later. So we got a westerly wind, and I'm gonna paddle out along out here, out to that point, and I'm gonna try to get the breeze to push me back this way along that shore so I don't have to paddle as much. Got another one. This one's a better one. Got another one. I just threw it out there. Got another good one. This one's probably the best one so far. I'm gonna put dump. Alright, so I paddled my way across the lake. It was kind of a grueling paddle. I don't know, it's probably blowing 15 miles an hour. That's enough to get a bit of a chop. I found a little bit of lee. It's not ideal lee, but this shore looks pretty good to me. And maybe there'll be some bass here. I was using a wiggle nymph, or wiggle streamer, whatever you want to call it. And I think I'm going to switch to these near enough crayfish, because I think with the crayfish, I'm going to get harder hits. I'm trying to get more aggressive strikes, and I think with this, I'll get more aggressive strikes. Alright, I'm getting this near enough going. Gotta get it soaked so it'll sink. Got one. Alright, I switched to a Sneaky Pete for a surface thing. It's a bright day, bright fly, and I find that they like to hit the surface pretty much all the time, so I'm going to try some surface stuff. Oh. Had one. Got one. Ah! I switched from the Sneaky Pete to this just general frog hopper because I wasn't getting good hooking. They kept on rising to it, but I couldn't get them to actually hook. Watch out for the rocks. Yeah. So I'm giving this thing a go for a little bit. They might not be hitting it hard enough. I don't really know though, because in general, usually. Oh, I got one. Finally got one on the surface. I had lots of hits, but this fucking little guy. I'm gonna hit some rocks. Popping it right along the shore. Right up in the stones. The habitat here is so great for smallmouth. It's just so rocky. I do think it's actually post-spawn though. Yeah. Right by the boat launch. He's pushing me. Take a look at him. It's the best one of the day. I guess it's what they say, don't touch your leader. Alright, I hopped out. I'm just gonna push it right in. Somebody took the main launch, so it's a little bit of a pain getting out. And call it a day. Yeah. Just gonna go load the truck.